Well, hello, my friends. How are you this fine evening? It's a Monday. Hello, brother doggy. Yes, sir. Monday night, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another show, another fun time, another tons of laughter, tons of music. 2 hours, 6 to 8. Do you have darts still, Dougie? Dougie's the first one on. He beat Jeremy, which is kind of odd. Jeremy's usually the first one on. Hello, Paulie Bump. Oh, is darts done for the summer? Maybe you should go down and start practicing for next year. You might make the A team, buddy. Hello, Paul Bump. I tell you, that was a pretty good rump that you got going on there. Nice little rub. Looked pretty good. Hello, Fitzy. Again, you guys are on the behind the views. I don't even have my TikTok. I forgot my other phone because I was using the other phone for the Brad Simmons, which, by the way, you can see the Brad Simmons concert there at Freezerland on Friday night, and I forgot to take it out of my laptop bag and put it into my music bag. So I'm like, shit. So it is now just this: Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube tonight. StreamYard doesn't apparently allow us to move over and do it in the other realms. Yeah, whatever. Hello, Kim Hamlin. Happy Monday to you, young lady. And yes, I did not forget. The band Amity's on. I am so excited. We got to talk to Mr. Ryan Gates so I can get your song for next Monday, because that's when I want to talk to you guys. Hello, Amanda Doyle Nort. You guys excited? You shared the snippet. I want you to tag me in that shit. Every time you share a snippet, you tell them that it's going to be heard for the very first time on Jigs and Reels Radio KW, the radio debut, the worldwide debut, and then uploaded to the station. Tag me. I know, isn't this a great hat? You know, I really, really like this hat. Hello, Marion Fagan from Riverhead. I know. No, you know what? I really, really like this hat. I like the color and stuff. Because my other one's got the sweat stains, the salt stains on the Country Eastern one. So I'm going to have to get a new one when I go down in August. Get a new one from her. All right, here we go. Let's have some fun. Well, good evening, Newfoundlanders, and those who wish to be. It is I, Dean Clark, on a show called Jigs and Reels. What is it, you ask? Well, allow me to tell you. It is a show about Newfoundland music. That's right, 2 hours, 6 to 8 o'clock Eastern Time, 7:30 to 9:30 Newfoundland time. So that is it. We play the best in Newfoundland music this side of the St. Lawrence, and tonight will be no exception. Coming up on tonight's show, listen to this. You know what? I thought I was nervous interviewing Dave Fitz, because Dave is like God. And, Midas, I guess. But on tonight's show, I get to talk to the one and only Mr. Greg Wells. And you're probably wondering who Greg Wells is. Well, if you search his name, he is everywhere. But what I'm going to get to the roots of Greg Wells tonight is his connections to Newfoundland. Scilly Cove Records, Trinity Hall, and, of course, the new movie that CBC is going to be releasing regarding Trinity Hall. We're going to talk to him about his connections to Newfoundland, find out all the music that's coming out in 2024. You've heard me play Summer Bennett. You've heard me play Courtney Wicks. You've heard me play Janelle, Chantel, Amanda Stone's under their wing. Lots of great music. The band Amity. Next Monday night, I will have them live on the show. All three of them. My other adopted daughters. I have plenty adopted daughters. Take them all under my wing because I'm 6'2", 280. No one messes with my daughters. Just remember that. It is the last Monday here of May. Can you believe it? It is May 27th already. Where the hell did May go? It's gone. The last Monday here. June's coming up. Got a lot of great shows coming up at the end of this week. I'll tell you all about that. The Dildo Brewery Diary with my good friend Angie Reid coming up. Speaking of that, June 1st, it's the Dildo Run. And as I said, if I was home, I would take part because that would be the only time I'd ever do cardio. Because I will run for beer. Oh, I will. And whiskey. Oh, I will. Cigars too. I will run for that. Mm-hmm. So we talked earlier about music coming up this weekend. Check this out. You heard me play Becca Bartlett's brand new song last week. She is in many, many bands. She is an unbelievable, talented singer, songwriter, musician. She is pairing up with another talented singer, songwriter, my good friend Jenny Mallard, and they will both be at the Battery Cafe Thursday night, 7 o'clock. You heard me play Becca last week. Let's play Jenny tonight, and it's a song called I Want You. Listen to Jenny's voice. Isn't that beautiful? Hey, listen to this. Oh, yeah, what the hell is going on at home? What the hell? Are you freaking serious? Hey, so the band Amity, I know you guys are underage, but if you had to go and see these guys, would they let you in? Because I think they should let you in. You got to let them know who you are. You're like, do you not know who we are? Like, look at us. Like, we're the band Amity. Like, oh my God. Like, oh, you think we know Summer Bennett? Like, Summer Bennett's like our best day. Like, oh my God. I dare you. I think you should. You should go and go, like, we're like the band Amity. Scilly Cove Records, you know, you've heard it. Do it. I dare you. I dare you to do it that way. Man, I need one of these. Tonight's show is brought to you by Red Bull, the sugar-free version of Red Bull. I think you should. Don't tell him you know me, because I don't think anybody knows me in Newfoundland. Because if I was at home, Jesus, I tell you, we all talked about that. I'd be spending money hand over fist. So I was on the talking with, oh my God, who the hell was it? Hello, Gloria Aiken, Auntie Gloria in Burlington. I got to come see you. You're like 40 minutes away from me. I'll bring some salt fish for you. Lonzo, what's going on, brother? Excuse me. So we're talking last week and talking about all the music in Newfoundland and et cetera, and got on the soapbox again. And what's the name from With Violet, and man, I had a chance to listen to a couple of more songs. It'd be cool. That band With Violet, you guys got to download that shit, man. It's wicked. Good music. That album is going to be awesome. You probably do. Girls, I think you probably have to have the parents with you. Alex Duffy. Yeah, buddy. Have you packed yet? Are you done packing? Because you didn't come out Friday night because you said you had to pack. You better have freaking packed. You better be all packed. Oh, no, saltfish. I might have some partridge berry jam. You should have came out on Friday night, Aunt Gloria, to come and see Brad Simmons play. That would have been really cool for you to be there. That's as far as you got? Sleeping on the floor? Alex Duffy, I'm playing a brand new song from him tonight, along with Albert Dalton. Albert Dalton, you may not know who that is, but you're going to hear him tonight. Okay, you've heard me play music from DK, from Dave. Albert's a rapper. And would that be the safest way, Alex, to call him? He's a Newfoundland rapper, and he's got some good shit out. And so the GOAT. I agree, but don't let Dave see that. So, we were talking about how we got to get. If I had money, my God, you guys would be playing this way every weekend. I'd be bringing somebody here every freaking weekend to play. I'd fly yous in. Every weekend on my personal jet. It would be called, you know how Elvis Presley had the TCB? It would be the J, the squiggly R. Kind of like Y&R, but it'd be less dramatic than Y&R. But I got to get you guys away and off the island. I need you guys to make your name here on the mainland. Because no matter who you are, you can be the biggest in Newfoundland, but if they don't hear you anywhere across Canada, I got to get that. So I've talked to Dana, and I'm going to look at taking either a course or talking to some promoters around town. That ain't going to screw me over. Dave being one who is like the goat, the god, the Midas, I would be talking to him. But there's a couple of people down here that I want to start. 2025 is going to be the year that I'm bringing a lot of Newfoundland acts to Ontario and start playing around. So Alex, I know you've just leaving Toronto. Expect to come back next year. Expect to come back, buddy. Will I be streaming it? Jeremy, as I always say, does a bear shit in the woods? You're damn right. I'm going to be playing. I'm going to be streaming it, and it's going to be broadcast on the workout. On the workout. It's going to be broadcast on the radio station, like Brad Simmons did there the other night. That actually worked out really well. If anybody had a chance to tune in on the radio station, I had about 40, 50 listeners listening in. Hey, Dave, that's you.
Jigs and Reels, the best in Newfoundland and Labrador music on CKWR.
Come on. There we go. But yeah, it will be broadcast on there, absolutely, and streamed and everything in between, my friend. Everything in between. Oh, your passport's going to get a workout. You might as well just rent a constant B&B up here, Paul. If I don't have the kids any of those weekends, you can stay at my place. Then we take you to Morty's. Just like I took Rodney. Yeah, I'm really nervous about interviewing Wings. Damn right. I'm excited about interviewing Greg. I'm going to talk to him about some different stuff, some things that probably people have never even known about him. Some people probably even don't know who he is. We're going to talk about that tonight. Get you to know who this guy is that's creating music. I'm surprised I haven't seen Ryan on here yet, chiming in. I know he's lurking in the background. He's like that, like a manatee. You know what I mean? He's slow, just swimming around. Yeah, Ryan's like that manatee. You know, I can feel it. I can see him around, you know. My interview skills are interesting. People have asked me where I do this, and I ask 2 questions. That's it. I have them written down, and I have 2 questions. Because in my mind, where do you go from those questions? You don't continuously ask questions based on your list. It's like a chart. You ask the one question, well, what do they say? You continue playing off of that. And then you veer, and then you play off of that. Then you go and you play off of that. You can't ask all the same questions in the thing. Maple Leafs. What about Maple Leafs? What? Paul had a squirrel moment. But yeah, so that's kind of how I do my interviews. I've always done them that way. Even when I took radio broadcasting in college, they always wanted us to list questions. I couldn't do it. I couldn't get the questions down. Oh, I know, you're right. I used to ask those questions at the end. Cod tongues or cod cheeks? Black horse or Dominion? You're right, Paul. Maple Leafs or Habs? You're right. I should get back into that. I might interview you, Paul, one of these times.
Was 25 or 30 years since Jack first saw the light. He came into this world of war and darkness starting night. He was born aboard his father's ship and she was flying through. But 25 or 30 miles southeast of Backville.
Jack was every inch a sailor. Yeah, I was. Hello, Sherry. How are you now? How's work going for you? You doing well? Yeah, it was funny because Patrick from that we talked to last week with. Hello, Carl. Are you still in LA? Not in LA. Are you still in Cali? Come on. Really, Sherry? Really? A good feet of lobster? Really? You could have just stopped that beer. You break my heart, Sherry. Hi, sister. How are you? I miss you, Amanda. We haven't had chats in a little while. Hope you're doing well. Miss you. Really? Sherry still? I'm going back to that lobster? Come on. I tell you. That hurts. Oh, you're still in Cali, eh? By the way, I sent your number to Doug, who is on here, talking about the staging for the Jigs and Reels radio show. For the Jam on D-Ruck. See. Pop. All right. I'm going to make that telephone call. Okay, now I'm starting to get nervous. Okay? Now I'm going to start getting nervous. Got to do my stretches. How much time do I have? Because I'd like to get them on and...
Call has been forwarded to an automatic
really?
System 310.
Really? I'll try that again.
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic.
Oh. Had to send him a message. Here we go. I'm going to try one more time. Oh my God, I'm scared now. Now he's making me really nervous. Did I dial the right number? Ha!
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic.
Well, son of a gun. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's great. Jigs and Reels Radio, KW on 98.5 CKWR. And as I'm trying to get in touch with Mr. Greg Wells, he's talking about how nervous I can get him talking to him. Jeez, I tell you, he's not picking up. 6:20 here on Jigs and Reels. We just finished hearing Morrissey's Private Stock, Auntie Mary. Jack was every inch a sailor. Dick Nolan, The Islanders, If the World Was from Newfoundland. Cabin Party song, Greg Dahl. That one always reminds me of my buddy. We all know him, Steven, from Down Forward, always talking about his cabin. Jenny Mallard and I Want You, who is going to be with Becca Bartlett at the Battery Cafe this Thursday, starts at 7 o'clock. Like I said, 6:20 here last Monday. Get your rent checks ready. The first is coming up. Oh, there he is. I'm going to take a quick break, and I'm going to give him a quick call. We'll see what we got. He tells me 1 second. I'm going to give him 60 seconds. Hold on. That was awesome.
Mental health programs our community needs. Programs aimed at minimizing risk factors before they turn into serious disease. With Manulife's donation.
All right, I'm going to see if I can give him a call here now.
Twice as far. Manulife is
Oh, there he's calling me.
dollar for dollar.
Hello, is this Mr. Greg Wells?
Visit
It is. Hi.
Hey, buddy. We're about to go on in 15 seconds. How's that sound?
That sounds pretty good. I had no idea what time it was, and Wicked has been driving me crazy, but I just finished the big thing for them.
Good. Well, I won't take up a lot of your time because I know you are some busy. So we'll here.
I can talk right now. I
Perfect.
can't talk at all until right now.
All right.
That's just-
Jigs and Reels Radio KW on 98.5 CKWR, and I got him. He actually called in, so it's on his dime. So I won't keep him too long because you know that those phone bills nowadays. It is a pleasure and an honor to have you, Mr. Greg Wells, on CKWR on Jigs and Reels Radio KW. I got to tell you, I am in awe that I have somebody of your stature on the air, and we're going to talk a little bit about your connections with Newfoundland because you're a lot like me. You were basically raised in Ontario, but you had family connections back home in Newfoundland. How did that get all started? What's your ties to Newfoundland, Greg?
Well, it started with the audacity of my mother having the nerve to be born there.
The nerve. What a province to be born in.
The nerve. And her parents and their parents and their parents and their parents. So my mom was born in Bonavista, and she grew up in Newfoundland until she was a preteen. I think she was 11 years old when her family moved to, I think the first place was a little village called Enniskillen in Ontario, little farming community. And then Bowmanville and kind of like little places like that. And the long game of my grandfather, who was born in Winterton, which is where Trinity Hall is.
Yep.
But his long game was he was a United Church minister, and he wanted to be a professor of theology at Queen's University, which was in Kingston, Ontario. So he had this he was a very methodical, very quietly determined guy, very disciplined. And I remember he told me he sat down with his dad, who was a fisherman, and, they had just a very, kind of meager existence. They were sitting on a big pot of gold financially. And he said, I have to get my doctorate at Princeton University in New Jersey. How are we going to do this? And he sat down, they worked out a budget, and he said, we got it. So my father said, if you follow this, religiously, you should be left with your doctorate degree and a dime. You should have 10 cents left over. And he actually did it. He was so, methodical. And
Wow. Very disciplined.
That's a dime on the table, which is a really beautiful story. But he also said since that day, he hasn't been able to spend any money at all.
So is that dime in a frame somewhere? It has to be.
Sorry, say it again.
Is that dime in a frame somewhere? Like it has to be. It's like when a business makes their first dollar, you frame that. Is that dime somewhere?
I don't think he saved the dime, but I'll never forget him telling me that story. It's really beautiful. But he did it. He got his doctorate.
Wow.
So he, moved the family away from Newfoundland to try and edge his way closer and closer to Queens. And it wound up working out. He did become a professor of theology. And the irony, unfortunately for him, is he hated it.
No way.
It was, he was from very, very, very much another era. And he was a very kind of quiet conservative guy anyway. But by the time he got to Queens, it was the 60s, and students, were starting to talk back and kind of starting to rebel a bit more. And they were kind of having a field day with him, and he wasn't ready for it. And he unfortunately had a bit of a nervous breakdown, and it just wasn't, sometimes things just aren't what you think they are.
Right.
And
right.
You got to be careful sometimes when you set goals. So anyway, so he took a break from that, and he went back to preaching. But the family at that point was in Ontario. So my mom was heartbroken that they left Newfoundland.
Of course.
And to this day,
you know, my mom just turned 80, but to this day, every house that I've lived in Ontario has been a shrine to. It really has been, and her house still looks like that. There's still like, you know, there's like fishing gear
Yeah.
at the house.
And let me guess, moose antlers somewhere around?
There's no moose antlers. It's all stuff that is under the water. It's like, you know, lobster traps and like just all, and lots of paintings.
Yeah.
So it was very kept alive, and her parents obviously were from Newfoundland, and I was very, very close to them.
Yeah.
I really just adored them, and they always lived kind of 30 minutes away from us.
Perfect.
For most of my childhood, so we saw them a lot, and my grandmother grew up on Random Island in a little place called Thoroughfare, which isn't there anymore, but of course Random Island is there. So we visit Newfoundland, not every summer, but a lot of summers. I remember missing the first month of kindergarten because of the ferry strike in the 1970s.
See, it's very similar to the, you know, my setting as, you know, born and raised here in Ontario, but my heart and soul was born in Newfoundland. And you and I you're doing it at a much different level than I am, but we're giving back to the musicianship and the culture and the supporting of Newfoundland music and its culture by doing what we're doing. So you're now you were somewhere in Peterborough area, is that correct, growing up? Or what was the majority city that you were growing up in Ontario?
Do you mind if I ask you what your connection is to Newfoundland?
Yeah, no, absolutely. So my grandparents and on my dad's side from Trinity Bay, Heart's Desire, Trinity Bay. So when I was 4 years old and every summer going down, we would go down for 3 weeks out of the year and we would stay at Nan and Pop's. We would tour around. So Nan and Pop used to always request on one of the radio shows on Sundays when the Robins Come Home. And of course, from 4 years old up until probably about 18 years old, that song they always requested every year. And I always remembered the heartbreak, the emotions, the crying on the plane coming back, the crying on the drive back to Waterloo, the crying for the next week, and just feeling heartbroken and feeling that there was something left out. And so when I was 17, I wanted to get into radio, and CKWR was the station I went into. This was 1988. And they asked me what type of music I wanted to do. And I said, Newfoundland music. I took my parents' 32 albums and cassettes, and I started the show. And for 20 years, without any social media, without any MP3s and stuff, I amassed cassettes, CDs, all through mail. One of the highlights was I remember Ron Young, who started the Down Homer. My parents used to actually deliver the Down Homer for Ron when he first started out in Brampton. So these are the connections. And then obviously meeting Newfoundland artists, but still going back to Newfoundland. And then 2008 kicked in, had kids, family and such like that. And then, of course, personal difficulties and things. And then all of a sudden meeting my girlfriend now. And we discussed that, hey, how come I've never continued the show? And I couldn't answer it. And 3 years ago, Jigs and Reels Radio KW started again. And here I am. And I'm doing more now than I did in the 20 years by promoting and being a part of this. And thank God for social media. And you could probably attest to that because your numbers are huge on social media when you search your name. So again, that's my connection to Newfoundland. So going back to you now, we're giving back to this. You now started Scilly Cove Records. I want to play a song from the very first artist that I got from Ryan and from Scilly Cove, Courtney Wicks. Before I play her song, how did you find her and get her on the label?
Ryan was aware of her, and I, you know, I've joyfully walked backwards into this entire endeavor. From the very first time I saw a listing for a church for sale in Winterton. You know, I don't really know what I'm doing, but but starting like an indie record label just came from the same wellspring of like, this feels right, that I should try to buy this gorgeous little church, it feels right that I should try to, pay it forward where my grandparents are from, as
Yep.
tribute to them
Yep.
and their ancestors, which I feel like enables me to do what I'm doing in my life, but also I want to support the Newfoundland and music community. So I wanted to capture, record and preserve and protect a lot of the music that is being made in Newfoundland. And the original idea was to record people that were, like from Winterton or from 10 centimeters outside of Winterton.
Right.
And it's blossomed into more than that.
Of course.
And Ryan said, I think I know exactly who should do this. And he grew up with Courtney. They've been friends since childhood. And Courtney's from a very, very musical family. And she's just this beautiful singer who, my favorite qualities of an actor or a singer or a musician or anyone who's telling a story creatively, even like a painter, is when they're not clubbing you over the head with some sort of like muscle flexing kind of virtuosity. They're letting the content of the story do the talking, and they're like a vessel for the writing, because when the writing is really incredible, that's always the most sort of outstanding thing to me, like in a movie or on a record or even a live performance. And Courtney just intrinsically gets that. She knows that, and she picks these beautiful classic songs.
Yes.
And the way that she performs them, she plays guitar and sings this stuff live. The way that it comes through her, to me, it sounds really fresh. But these are old songs, and I love that combination. So Ryan sent me a recording of her doing a song or two, and I thought this is perfect. And I spoke to her. We did a little Zoom.
Yeah.
She's a sweetheart. And I had breakfast with her and her husband in the next time I was in Newfoundland, and I liked her a lot, and we just agreed to try. And you're about to hear
That's it.
what happened on those 2 days that we recorded a live.
And that was it?
A live album.
Just 2 days? That's all it took for her album to do?
Well, it was 2 days of recording.
Yeah.
Courtney doing what she does, which is
wow.
We had her standing on the stage, the chancel of the church.
Yep.
We're not allowed to call it a church anymore, but it's a church.
It'll always be a church. Agreed.
Yeah, it will always be a church. I want it to always look like a church.
Yep.
It's a church.
Yep.
And so, but we had these beautiful microphones that Robert Kelly and Mark Feener, fantastic record producers and engineers in St. John's, agreed to help bring out, and they helped record Courtney and help make that record. And Courtney just did what she does. And then I took those recordings back to my studio here in Los Angeles and just kind of did a little bit of embellishing, mostly kept it exactly raw like it was, and just used the sound of the church wooden rafters, the natural, reverberation inside that building, which really sounds special. It's a beautiful acoustic space.
And we will talk about that very, very shortly, for sure, because I had the chance to hear that firsthand this past March, and wow. So yeah, we'll talk about that. So Courtney Wicks, here we are. The water is wide. Again, she is one of those natural talents that just is an old soul. Sings fresh off of her CD titled "Love Me," which is available everywhere that you can stream, and of course, it is available at Scilly Cove Records. And this is it. The water is wide. Courtney Wicks. It's so funny, Greg, on how you talked about your. Again, it's like our paths are identical in the way that you give back, and I don't want to make it sound like, I'm comparing myself to you, because I'm certainly, you're on a different level, but I look at what we share together and how we've come about to not born in Newfoundland, but we're doing something special for the Newfoundland music community. And that is promoting what we know is probably the best music in Canada by far.
If not the world.
I agree. And we've said this, we've talked about this. I've talked about this with many people in the background, is you know, and Greg and I have had this is Newfoundland has its own musical identity. And I've talked to so many people about this. I want them off the island. And I am going to do my damnedest to get their music live performances. I sent you a little bit of a thing there on the weekend. Maxwell's Music Theater, The Watchman has played their big names, big bands. And I want to bring people this way to start getting their name off the island and more west. And I'm going to try my damnedest to get that going, but I think they need to be heard more so than just in Newfoundland. And yeah, you've definitely opened up a lot of doors for a lot of people, and I'm sure they thank you with all the, I thank you for trusting me with all the music, and you and Kevin and Greg, you know, those guys give me. So thank you so much for that.
No, there's well, thank you for your support. Your support is absolutely amazing. I think that the documentary that Brad and Steven made is going to help.
Yep.
If not a lot. And,
yep.
You know, so far the CBC has been pretty asleep on the whole thing, and I don't know why, because I think it's a really beautiful story, but they're going to need to get behind it somehow, and I don't know if they sort of look down on Newfoundland. I don't know what's going on, but like I had Michael Bublé go to the head people of the CBC.
Jesus.
Michael loves the story. He loves it. He follows it. He likes every.
Hold that thought, Greg.
I make about Trinity Hall.
Hold that thought.
To them, and they're
Jigs and Reels Radio KW on 98.5 CKWR. Courtney Wicks and the water is wide. I have Mr. Greg Wells on the phone lines from Los Angeles. That's where he does most of his work. And when he's in Newfoundland, he spends most of his time at Winterton. The house is coming along nicely, by the way. Greg, I had a chance to see it when I stopped over there, Kevin. So it's looking pretty good. When is it going to be done, or is it almost done?
I think it's pretty close to almost done. They've got the drywalls up, and we picked out the appliances, and they're getting sent there, and we're getting real close.
Nice. So when is the big housewarming party? I got to plan around it. So, you know, when I come down, I got to make sure that the party's going on, and, you know, I got to make sure I'm there. When are we having the open house? Wait, how do you know where I live? Wait, what? What are you talking about? What? So
give everybody the address right now.
Yeah, that's it. I think we'll be able to find it. So Greg, we're talking about Scilly Cove. Let's move over to Trinity Hall. So it's an interesting story on how you got this piece of property and made it your own. And then you have this documentary that's expected to come out very, very shortly, showcasing the beauty around Trinity Hall and its start and stuff. So tell us that backstory. What made you go and purchase that land and do what you did with Trinity Hall?
All right. Well, if I get too long-winded, please just please cut me off.
Oh, dude, no. You just keep going, because if those that have never seen Trinity Hall or been inside Trinity Hall, that is something. So you have Bell Island. Everyone goes to Bell Island. You need to go to Trinity Hall. I guarantee when you leave that, your jaw will be dragging on those rocks outside that church. I'm serious. When I heard Chad Hunt and I heard Amanda Stone sing, I got chills. I had absolute chills. And then when Ryan cheated on the arm wrestling, which, you know, that's another story, you know, but in all honesty, that is such and will be an iconic center to catch live music. So tell us then about Trinity Hall, Greg.
Well, let's see. Almost a little over 2 years ago, it was March of 2022. We have a bunch of kids, 6 in total, and my daughter, who was now 7, she was 5 at the time, I was putting her to bed, and I am the crazy parent who's in the room with the kids until they're really, really, really asleep. And every once in a while, them falling asleep kind of puts me to sleep too, and I'll wake up a little bit later. So I was sitting on a little beanbag beside her bed. I'd read her a story. I had my left hand on the top of her head. I could hear her breathing kind of get, slower and heavier.
Yeah.
And she fell asleep, and then I kind of conked out. And then I woke maybe 30 minutes later, and I have no idea why, but I woke up and was just infused, like filled with this very strong, very specific gut feeling that was the following gut feeling, that I should pick up my cell phone, the one I'm talking to you on right now, and start looking for something that felt like a building that might be able to be purchased, and that building felt like it was connected to me in a family way, but also had a bigger purpose, like kind of a philanthropic, like it would do good for, it would do some sort of good for a community, or I couldn't figure it out, but it was all of those things in this weird gumbo.
Yeah.
And it was really strong. It just kept like punching me in the gut. I'm like, well, what the hell do I do with that? I don't know what to do. What does that mean? So I just started looking for, I'm a record producer. I'm a musician.
Yeah.
I repurposed a lot of buildings as recording spaces.
Sure.
That's something I've just had to do to kind of make my own studios over the years. And I'm 55. I've been doing this for a long time. So lots of, like a garage or like a little warehouse.
Yeah, of course.
Currently I'm in half of a warehouse right now in Santa Monica. And so I started looking at like abandoned schools and old churches and old houses for sale in California where I live.
Yeah.
Anything that was good costs like $4 million. And I don't have that lying around. So like, okay, forget that. So looking around other places in the States. And there was some cool stuff in the South, but I don't really go to the Southern states. And there's some nice stuff in upstate New York. Again, I don't really go to upstate New York, although it's beautiful there. But so then I thought, I'm going to look in Canada. And I just searched church for sale in Canada. And I hit return. And the top result, it actually might have been the only result, or like one of two results, said church for sale in Winterton.
No, it was a sign.
It literally said, the link said church for sale in Winterton. That's all it said. And I thought, holy moly, what is going on? So I clicked it, and it took me to a listing that was active with a big picture of the church that my grandfather was the part-time minister of. And been in that church several times as a young boy running around, and I remember the red carpet, and I remember the
Yeah.
There was a United Church minister also, and he preached in there at least once as well as a guest speaker. So, and it was for sale for $35,000.
Oh, jeez.
Holy crap. Like that's, this has to be the thing that I was feeling. This has to be some weird, whatever. I don't know what it was, but I tried to reach the realtor. A couple days later, I got on the phone with him, and he said, that story is amazing. I hate to tell you this, but that listing is not current. We closed the deal about a week ago. Somebody own the building now. Oh. And I couldn't believe it. I'm like, what? This is like, what is going on? Like, why did I feel that? Why did I find that listing, and why can I not do it now? That's so weird. Yeah. And he said, look, I know you don't have a connection to another church in the area, but I think that the church just in front of that one, which is actually in much better shape, will come on the market in a month or two. If it does, do you want to let me know? Or do you want me to let you know? And I said, well, okay, sure. So cutting to the chase, and you can see where I'm going with this. That was St. Luke's Anglican Church, and it did go on the market, and I got some pictures of it, and it's just like a jewel box of a church. It's just absolutely gorgeous. As you know, you've been in it. It was in pretty great condition, except the furnace had been dismantled, which I didn't realize, but whatever, we solved that. And it's really a special building, and it's also built on the site of at least two other versions of that church that had burned down, going all the way back to the 1700s. Wow. Loads of history.
Oh, is it ever? This is cool to hear. See, and I did not know the history like this behind it.
Oh, it goes pretty deep. And then the cemetery beside the church has gravestones that go back to the early 1700s, which makes that one of the oldest graveyards in Newfoundland. It might possibly be the oldest one. Yeah. Definitely one of the oldest ones. And Anyway, so
Wow.
I put a bid in on it, and I bid more than they were asking, and I wrote a letter saying that I wanted to keep it as a church.
Yeah.
I wanted to turn it into a nonprofit center. I just whole kind of vision that just sort of come to me, and I just sort of went for it. And my wife is a bit like, "Are you sure you want to do this? Like, you want to a church in Newfoundland?" Like, no, I hadn't been to Newfoundland since I was 20, playing with the Kim Mitchell band on tour, and I had an amazing experience, kind of a profound experience actually, when I was there for 3 days with Kim. And Kim and I still talk about that, but she was like, it's really far from Los Angeles, and I don't know, should we spend money on something that we can actually go to that's closer? Makes a lot more sense, but
And it only has 2 weeks of summer instead of these 7 months of winter.
I didn't bring that up.
Oh yeah, okay, that could have ruined it right there with the missus.
But I didn't put that in front of her. But then when she understood, how close I was to my grandparents and my feeling with the whole thing was, she's been totally supportive of it. And as a side note, she was just there for the very first time. She's Swedish. She has no connection at all.
Oh wow.
Island, and she fell in love with it immediately. And she turned to me on our second night there, driving back to where we were staying. We just had we were just hanging out with some friends in Winterton, and she turned to me and she literally said to me, "What the hell are we doing in Los Angeles?" Really? Did you say that? She said, "Yeah. What the hell are we doing in Los Angeles?"
And how many days did that take her?
That was the second night.
Yeah. A lot of comparisons. Dana said that after the second day as well. She's going, "Yeah, when are we going to move here?" That is amazing. That's so cool, Greg. And again, it's just the history that you brought back with you and how it turns around all the way. And I love to hear the fact that you went with your heart, and unlike, going to Queen's University and only having that dime left, dude, you're going to make a lot of dimes with that Trinity Hall and Scilly Cove Records for sure. That is such a great venue, and everybody that's on the behind the scenes is talking about how the acoustics are incredible. It's such a great place. I wish I could play there, and so on and so on. And again, I had the pleasure to be there, and I even though it was just me and Johnny and a couple of other people in that place, the acoustics, mind you, the acoustics in a church anywhere are by far the best. But to hear it in such a small space like that, it just blew me away. And again, it wasn't a full band. It was just acoustic and vocals. And I know Kevin is probably one of the best sought after sound engineers that are out there. And, he did his stuff behind the scenes, showed me what's going on there and how much you guys have invested. And it is going to be the number one venue in Newfoundland, I would think, within 24, 25, and people are going to be flocking to want to play there. You've done something extremely, extremely well, Greg. And yeah, man, you got to hold your head high and be proud of what you've done, because we all thank you. We definitely all thank you.
Well, it's such a thank you very much. And it's such a privilege. It's such an honor to have the support of the people in Winterton. I thought they might, I'm kind of paranoid, and I will sort of think things might go wrong. And I thought they might view me as like, who is this idiot? And,
Right.
Why? Just like, what are you doing here? And
yeah,
people have been really, 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 really supportive and super cool. Like even the provincial government of Newfoundland has been really, once I figured out how to reach them, they've been very supportive. And that's another really beautiful thing about Canada, full stop, that there is a lot of government support, financial support for the arts, which is a thing that you just can't find in America or a lot of other countries.
right.
They really do get behind Canadian artists, which is a beautiful thing.
Mm-hmm.
And some of them, the Minister of Culture and Tourism has been to Trinity Hall a few times, and he loves it. And he's pledged, in whatever way he's able to help support things. He's totally for a year now. It's been almost exactly a year. I think a year and a week.
Wow.
We're just getting going. And I want to point out, I hope we that there are a bunch of dimes made, but I will never make a dime from it. This is a money losing proposition for me. This is all it's nonprofit. It's all the business model of it is any money that's made there by Trinity Hall goes right back into the community.
See, now that's what sets this apart, is because, again, that's what's called giving back. It's giving back, and you're doing something that not a lot of other people would think of. And again, I don't want to, but you and I seem like we're cut from the same cloth. We wear our hearts on our sleeves. Our hearts are in Newfoundland. And, when I tell people that, my body was born in Ontario, but my heart and soul was born in Newfoundland, that is you. That is you, Greg. You have the ties to Newfoundland, and no matter what way, it was always going to bring you back to Newfoundland. Some way, some form. You were going back, but you didn't know how until you had that epiphany sitting there and waking up with your daughter and all of a sudden just going, hey, this is what I'm going to do. Hey, here it is. And the ties and the connections and the future, what the future holds for you, my friend, it's unstoppable.
I have always felt a really strong pull toward it. I really genuinely have. And, there's different kinds of wealth, right? Like there's the obvious monetary kind of wealth. And of course, everyone needs a roof over their head.
Of course.
I'm not saying not having money is some sort of virtuous, amazing thing. It's not. It's everyone needs to eat. Everyone needs a basic, basic standard of living. But,
yes.
But here I am in Los Angeles, where I've been for 34 years now, 34 years. And at this point in my career, I'm spending my time working on things that are trying to globally dominate the market. Like I'm producing the music and mixing the music and even playing all the instruments in the band for the 2 new Wicked movies. This is starring, Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo. It's a $500 million budget project.
Yep.
I'm also producing and mixing both album soundtracks, one album soundtrack per movie. It is one of the biggest, most expensive movies ever made.
Oh, wow.
We are trying to hit it out of the park.
Of course.
The first one comes out this November. The second one comes out a year later.
Yep.
And, the artists that I work with, they're not sitting around just trying to have a good time. They're trying to really have an even bigger career than they already have. So for me, what I love about, the reason I'm bringing all that up is what I love about what I and what we, my team
mm-hmm.
at Trinity Hall and Silly Cove Records, what we're doing is it's kind of almost the opposite of that. It's like there's no global, super snazzy spotlight going on. There's no machine behind it. There's no pocket lining going on. There's no greed behind it. Yeah. There's no gargantuan corporate dragon that needs to be fed. This is like wealth of a different kind.
It's the passion.
It's purely a passion project.
Yeah.
By design, I will never profit from any of it. I donate all my services to any of the records we make. I don't charge for anything. I fly myself there. I pay for my own accommodation. I, never ask to be reimbursed for that stuff for anything.
Of course.
And it feels great because it's like, it pays me in a way that isn't money. I don't know how to describe it better than that. It's like, it just feels great. It feels better than getting a paycheck for doing a job.
And you know what? That's what's going to make these artists sound that much more, is because not only are they bringing their passion and their singing and songwriting to it, some are Amanda Stone, the list goes on, but it's your passion that you're not expecting anything from it. So therefore you can tweak, you can do whatever you want to it because it's from your heart. And that, I think, means so much more to the artists that are under your label and have become friends with you and understand and take everything to heart that you tell them. I think that means so much more to them as Greg Wells, the person, the human, than Greg Wells, the LA producer / recording artist, and so on. And I think that for them means a lot more that you've done that for them and going to continue doing that for not just the artist, but for Winterton as well. So,
You know, like
yeah.
when you go to a really nice restaurant and you know there's a really incredible chef or cook in the kitchen, you know the food's going to be great.
Yeah.
But there's a difference between that kind of meal and like eating at a friend's or family house where the person that made the food knows and loves you. You know, like
Yeah.
that food always has a different kind of feeling. It has a different kind
Yep.
of taste.
Yep.
No one's getting paid to make that food. That's sort of what we're dealing with here.
Yeah.
It's just coming from a different sort of place. And it also, like, when I asked for companies to, like microphone companies and other companies have been really up for donating equipment
Right.
for the recording studio that we have installed there and built
Yep.
there to record people like Courtney and the other artists that we have on the Cove Records, because they know I'm not asking for their help so that I can make money. I'm trying to help other people do stuff.
Yeah.
And so when I ask for help, I get a very different response because they know it's all. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like,
Yeah.
It's different than me saying like, "Hey, can you help me?"
Yeah.
You know, line my own pockets.
Yeah.
Thing like that always gets
Yeah.
a different kind of response. But
Yeah.
So
It's not just you being you, it's you being Scilly Cove, you volunteering your time, you spreading the love, you spreading your wealth, and other people feed off of that because they know that what's going to come out of it is going to be gold. And when you get somebody behind you like that, it obviously goes to show that they're human as well, and they want to help those artists make a name for themselves and get that one song out there so they can hear themselves on the radio and hear their joy and hear and spread their love to their parents, to their kids, and go, hey, that's me on the radio. That's me. And I want to thank Greg, and I want to thank so-and-so from Shure. I want to thank so-and-so. And I think that again, for me personally, that is my payment, is when I get messages like that and go, thank you so much. I've never heard my song played on the radio ever before. You just made my night. I had my family all around me. And to me, that makes me smile. To me, that's payment.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you are making so many people's dreams come true every time you show up to work.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. As with you. So, you know what, dude? I could sit here and I could talk to you all night. But I got some more stuff to go. So can I ask you that we do this again, say in a month's time? Oh, by the way, when is the documentary expected to drop? Do we have a date yet on that, or a timeline?
Well, I have nothing to do with the documentary, which is another beautiful thing about it. It was Brad Tuck and Stephen Green that made it all on their own. They just
Oh, wow.
an interview. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I know
I thought you had a hand in on that. So that is, wow. Okay, see, now that just goes to show you the impact that Trinity Hall has had on those people, because if that documentary has nothing to do with you, then that is a sign of gratitude to you and the people of Winterton. Wow.
Yeah, it blew me away. I mean,
yeah.
Look, I tried to make a documentary. I approached a couple of different Newfoundland documentary filmmakers that I found online, and they wanted to be paid, they wanted to be hired, and they were busy, and nothing ever came of it. I approached the CBC, got zero reaction from them, and then I heard that two guys from the Winterton area, Brad and Steven, were already in the middle of making a documentary, and I didn't know that. So they made it completely on their own, and they asked me if they could interview me after the grand opening, and so I'm definitely very, I'm
of course
eager to the documentary, but I have nothing to do with making it, or it's all them, which makes me love it so much more.
Oh, for sure. Greg, I want to continue this conversation. Can I call you in a couple of weeks, in about 3-4 weeks, a month's time? Is that okay?
The honest answer is I'm going to be in the under the £1 billion pressure of finishing the Wicked movie at that point. So probably not, but how about like 2 months from now?
2 months from now, it's a date, my friend. And I'll even bring beers for us. How's that?
I would love that.
Man,
Speaking with you.
You are one of a kind, and it is an honor to have you on the telephone and to chat with you. And I look forward to more and more friendship connections that we have together. Obviously, meeting face to face, perhaps in August at the Jam on the Rock Part 2, or even at Music NL in September. But nonetheless, Greg, I thank you for coming on the air and chatting with me. The stories that you have are endless. I'm looking forward to hearing more because you are just a vault of fascinating information, and I can't wait to pick your brain a little bit more in a couple of months.
I'm just a fan like you are. You know, I get creatively turned on by the exact same stuff that you are, and you know, just like you, like I love great music, and and I'm just trying to help facilitate it. That's all I'm doing. There's nothing heroic about what I'm doing at all. I'm pointing to something that's already alive and well, and you know, it's already happening.
But I guess we'd like to say we're the voices of it, I guess is how we can say it. But I'm absolutely become another cheerleader of it. Your passion for the music out of Newfoundland is I've never seen anything like it, and it's thrilling. And I know it's thrilling for Newfoundland musicians to see someone in Ontario, which really does feel like such a long way away when you're in Newfoundland. You know, Newfoundland is quite isolated even today. Yeah.
It means so much to them to see somebody at a radio station in Ontario just, you know, tirelessly cheerleading for what they're doing. It's beautiful. You're doing a really meaningful thing. So thank you.
That means a lot, Greg, especially from you, man. That means so much. Thank you. Again, we're going to talk in a couple months. You, the best of luck with Wicked, the best of luck finishing that project. And again, off the top, though, I did want to say I'm sorry for the loss of your friend. I did see that over the weekend, Mark Rubel. Again, I wanted to share my condolences to you and your family and such as well, because I know that was a heartbreaking weekend for you. So again, my heart to you and your family. Okay.
Thank you so much. You would have loved him. He was the coolest guy, possibly the coolest guy I've ever met.
Well, you know what? You're right there too, my friend. You are right there too. So that's 2 months. It's a date. Greg, thank you so much for coming on the air. Thank you. You enjoy LA, and we're sending all our loves down to you and the best of wishes and the best of lucks to finish that the Wicked project.
Thank you, Dean. Thank you so much.
You betcha, buddy. All right. Bye-bye. Holy Hannah. Wow. I'm supposed to talk to Angie Reid right about now, but I'm going to play one song before Angie comes on. That, 2 months. Expect the full show, 2 hours of nothing but Greg Wells on that. That was just... All right. So Dave Fitz released a song not too long ago. It's called Winterton, in, of course, celebration of Winterton, as we all know. Dave Fitz, Greg Wells, Jigs and Reels Radio, KW, 98.5 CKWR. Wow. Holy shit. That was, wow. Yeah.
Taking the air that is so fresh. The people greet you with a smile.
That was freaking cool. That was really, really cool. Really cool. If I have the time, Jeremy, I will for sure play it for you, buddy. It's interesting on how Greg's circle came around to way it did, and how, and again, I said this, but I don't want to compare us because Greg is on a different level, but our passion towards the Newfoundland music and us not even being born in Newfoundland to do what we do and to do what we do for each and every one of the musicians that come off the island or release a song. As he said, it's not heroic. I don't see myself as a hero, and I've had people tell me that before. It's just it's no, that's not. I'm passionate about the music, and I want to do that, and I hear that in Greg. I hear the passion in his voice when we talk. Did you hear the inflections? The whole sort of how his voice got happy when we were talking about Newfoundland music. And that's what I was hoping I got across. Again, if you search Greg Wells, Greg Wells is a Grammy Award winning producer of Adele. He's played with many acts, and that we all know. But I'll tell you, to hear that, to know that we're cut from the same cloth and we do what we do because we love each and every one of you musicians from the bottom of my heart, and I know from the bottom of his heart. It's it's something. It's a passion. All right, now we're going to talk to Angie Reid. Here we go. Hello, Gavin Ryan. Hi. Oh, hello. Hi. Here we go. You're live. Ready? Jigs and Reels Radio, KW on 98.5 CKWR. We're continuing on with talking with people. Jesus, who was telling me earlier that I had the gift of gab? Oh, yeah, I remember. Somebody, Mel Simmons, said I had the gift of gab. So here we are. We're gabbing again, and we're gabbing with Angie Reid from the Dildo Brewery. How are you, young lady?
I am good. I'm all here in goosebumps now listening to your show. Oh my God.
Wasn't that something? Like I got Amanda Stone in the background crying. You know, she's a big sook, but that's okay. That's okay because we're all sooks. But did you know that? Like, did you know, like you're from the area? You've been to Winterton, I'm sure.
Oh God, yes.
Yeah.
So like, I think anyone who has, any interest in music here on this shore, we all know what's going on down there, but I haven't met Greg. I've spoken to him through email a little bit, but I've never met him, and just listening to him there, and I knew he had passion because everybody's been talking about it. And
yeah.
So I knew these things, so I'd heard, I guess, secondhand things from other people, and just to hear him talking to you and you talking to him, and it's like, oh my God, like you guys, I think heroes are right word. It's something different. I feel like I'd like to have a deeper conversation with you, Dean.
It's really awesome. I look at it and you're just listening to him. It was so cool because I could hear the kid voice in him, and when he asked me about where, what my connection was, you all heard how excited I got talking about my grandparents because, those are the ones that got me where I am. Those are the ones that, listen to the station every Sunday. And, when I ran my show, I remember my mom recording the show and sending my grandparents, Nan and Pop, the cassettes so they could listen to it down there. And, Nan was always proud and Pop was always proud. And, and that to do that and just, again, make them happy and to do what I do is just, I don't look at it that way. I can't because I just love what I do. And I love the people that I've met and I will not stop. So until you sell that brewery, Angie, I won't stop the show. How's that? And we know that that's not happening, is it?
No, that's not happening.
Exactly.
You and I'll just say this last thing, and we can move on.
Yeah.
I do, like, you guys are genuine, and I think that you're not giving yourself enough credit. You guys are so genuine, and every single person here in Newfoundland who has the pleasure and opportunity to meet you and just to hear what you're doing and learn. I'm learning so much about what you're doing. It's you're genuine, and that's so much Newfoundland characteristic, genuine and humble, and I just love it. I think you're amazing. You're both amazing. Greg too. Wonderful.
All right. So the tears are coming. Stop it. You're making me cry. Stop it. Yeah. Well, thank you. Thank you so much. So I got to ask you, did you get your running shoes yet? Are you ready for Saturday?
My shoes are ready for Saturday.
Oh, are you actually going to be running in this event, or are you going to be just leaving it up to Sherry and letting her run on your behalf?
I'm running. I have a feeling Sherry is not running, but I am running. That's what I'm going to do. I haven't ran in like a year, but I'm going to do it today.
Since the last beer run, I get it. See, when I think of beer runs, I think of going to the beer store and grabbing a 6-pack or a 24 and bringing it home. That's beer run to me. But you have the Dildo Brewery Beer Run Saturday. Tell us about it.
Well, starting Saturday morning, this is an event we do, we've been trying to do annually, and we do this as a very fun day for us, a fun morning, really. And all the proceeds from this goes right back into the community. So we don't take any profit from this whatsoever. All proceeds go right back into our community for community upgrades, anything that we see fit where we can put the money back in. So this is just a really fun day for people to get out. Yes, have a beer, absolutely, when you're done. If that's what you want, you're welcome to come. There's people that walk it, there's people that run it. We take anyone and everyone from all ages. It's just a fun, happy, social day, really.
And pets are included as well, so bring your pets out and go for a walk with them too, correct?
We love pets.
Exactly. So this is Saturday, so then you're done the run, and then everyone's back for a couple of pints. You have entertainment going on this weekend. Who's going to be there?
We do. We got Robert Russell playing Friday night. Neil Simmons is kicking off the run for us, so he's just like
wow,
hoot and holler. He did this for us last time, and we had everybody at 9 o'clock in the morning on their feet dancing. And
it's called stretching.
Morning with us.
It's called stretching. That's how we'll do it. Well, it's called getting ready, getting the heart pumping, getting the legs tight. Because I heard you guys are still like -6 degrees down there. Or have you had sun yet this year?
Man, it was a beautiful sunny afternoon today.
Good.
No, it's cold, still a little chilly, but the sun's starting to break through. So,
beautiful. Yeah. Well, I wish you, obviously, I pray for you the sunshine on Saturday, because there's nothing worse than walking and running in rain, I tell you. So
yeah.
But so then that's taking place.
Exciting to share with you.
Oh, what's this? What is it?
I don't know. Yes, I don't know if you've seen it on social media. We released it this morning. So we won an award this past weekend. I was up in Hamilton.
Okay, wait. You were in Hamilton, which is only 45 minutes away from me, and you never texted me and called me and said, hey, do we... Wow. See, Sherry would have.
We had a pretty busy weekend, and it was a bit of I booked my trip a bit last minute.
Of course.
But we did. We won an award this weekend for our Imperial Stout. We won silver.
That's awesome.
In the Canadian Brewing Awards and Conference. That
is amazing. So that was the award is Canada-wide, obviously, or is it worldwide?
It is.
Canada-wide.
Canada-wide, yeah. It's the Canadian Brewing Awards, yeah.
Wow. See, now if only you can get your beer. See, in Ontario we have our spot in the beer store, the craft breweries, okay, the Ontario craft beers. But we don't get anything from out of province. And I have asked that numerous times, and they're like, oh, you got to talk to Doug Ford and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, right. So how does one get, aside from bringing family up and bringing their suitcases full of dildo beer, like I've done it a couple of times. Not that Air Canada, you're not listening. Don't shh. Hey, if I can bring lobster and crab and salt fish back in a cooler, I can bring back some beers. How does one go about getting beer from Dildo Brewery?
Well, you can order online. I mean, I'm not going to lie. Shipping is Canada Post shipping is quite expensive.
Yeah.
Mail any product like that. But yeah, other than that, I mean, unless we enter into that market in Ontario, just basically,
It should be one of those things where
bring it in your suitcase.
That's exactly it. Start bootlegging it. What are we, St. Pierre? It's too bad. One of those things you didn't win the Canadian Beer Award. Top 3 get their brand of beer in an Ontario beer store. Do you know what I mean? Like for a year, you could have the full, let's do it. And that would be an amazing test market for those top 3 beers to get their name out there and to get it sold into, especially the Ontario beer stores. Because I know I would be first in line to grab some of those. But
but there's a lot of award-winning beers, though, Dean, that are they're not necessarily from large capacity type breweries, right? So
yeah.
that's the other thing. All these craft breweries across Canada, they vary in size, and
Oh.
to the next.
Oh, absolutely. Like we go down our road here and there's probably 4 or 5 within a 10-kilometer range. So yeah, it's not like it was years ago when there was 1 or 2. It's there's a lot now. And you got a very distinctive taste. And for you guys to win silver, congratulations. That is huge news for you guys. So big ups and congratulations to you and your brewmaster.
Yeah, I'd like to do a shout out to him, Al Goodyear. It is absolutely Al's beer, Al's recipe. This is the very first time he has ever entered in a beer award contest. So
wow,
super, 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 super proud.
Good,
him. Yeah,
good for him. So you got the beer run Saturday. What's coming up in the next little bit? Because June is going to be upon us in 4 or 5 days. What's coming up, and then in the month of June, some big events.
My goodness. Nothing massive, I guess, coming up because we start to hit by mid-June.
Yeah.
To the end of as we're getting close to July, kids are getting out of school. We're starting to get slammed. So we don't do a lot of big events during that time because we're just steady. Day in, day out, from 10 a.m. in the morning till 10 p.m. at night. We're serving up beers and enjoying some sunshine on the deck and listening to live music. And we're just having a time right up till the end of August.
And of course, you have Jigs and Reels Radio KW from Live 365 on all the time now, too, don't you?
Of course we do.
And you know what? You'd be surprised on the music you hear. I'm shocked every day when I listen to it at work. I'm like, oh my God, I forgot I had that song. Oh my gosh, what song is this? So yeah, I'm surprised. I surprise myself, which is pretty easy sometimes. So where can one find Dildo Brewery, Angie?
As always, you can look us up online. We do have a website. You can go on there, find out what's happening. You can listen to us every Monday night on Jigs and Reels.
Oh, yeah.
What's happening at the brewery.
Yeah, that's it.
But you can also email us at info@dildobrewingco.ca, or you can check us out anywhere on social media, Dildo Brewing Co.
Beautiful. Angie, always a pleasure. Please be safe this weekend. Stretch. Okay. And I was going to say if Sherry was for her to stretch more, because, from her T-ball injury, I don't want her pulling another hammy. Oh, am I ever going to get it when I see her in August?
I'm sure she's listening to you.
Oh, she is. She's on the behind the scenes. She's probably busting a gut and she's probably eye rolling, shaking her hand. Oh, I can see her now. Angie, have the best of fun this Saturday. I wish you guys nothing but the best. And of course, I'm praying for great weather for you two on Saturday.
All righty. Sounds good.
You betcha, Angie. We'll talk to you next Monday night, 7-ish, give or take.
My friend.
You have a good one. That is Angie Reid. Oh, God love her. God love her. Angie Reid from the Dildo Brewery and the Dildo Brewery Diary. It's so cool how her and I connected, and we do this each and every Monday night. We find out what's going on. So if you're in the Dildo area, Broad Cove, Heart's Desire, Heart's Delight, anywhere in that area, by all means, go support the Dildo Brewery in the community. Again, she said everything goes back into the community. So it's the run this Saturday, starting at Dildo Brewery. We got some more fantastic music. Let's continue on before we get into our new Music Monday. This is Wilson Jacobs and a song called Sierra Madre. And again, this is one of those songs I heard on the radio station today. Jigs and Reels Radio KW on CKWR 98.5. Oh, yeah! Now I'm in the mood. I'm in a good mood now, boys. Oh, man. Yeah, very happy with how things are going now. I'm not even through my first can yet. You know what? I wonder if they would. I wonder if they do a Jigs and Reels brew for me, a light lager. A light lager, call it a Jigs and Reels Light. Jigs and Reels Radio KW Light. That actually is not a bad idea. A newer version of Edison Williams, I would say. Wilson Jacobs. Look him up. He's online, Jeremy. He's on Spotify. Madre. Hope you guys are enjoying the show tonight. Like I didn't have an idea of what to expect tonight. As we all know, I fly by the seat of my pants. I'm just who I am when I talk to people. And yeah, it's been, I'm enjoying it. I hope you guys are as well. Yeah, I could so talk to Greg all night. That was just so interesting. And I love when I talk to people like that about the stories of their songs, about the stories of their, it's all that, right? It's everything. Because again, however, I don't even know how many listeners I have. I'm sure it's up there, but to hear the stories and the behind the songs and that sort of stuff. And we heard snippets of Greg playing with Kim Mitchell. Like, come on. Like he played with Kim Mitchell, like a Canadian icon. Just like when Dave Fitz played with numerous artists, like they're icons. And to have them on the air and to have them tell their stories is incredible. So yeah. So that's I hope you guys are enjoying the show tonight. That's the one. I remember seeing, and Dave, if you're still on here, you probably remember the band, the bar called the Highlands in Cambridge, there in Galt, right beside the hospital. That's where I saw Kim Mitchell. I was 18, went in with fake ID. Me and my buddy at the Highlands, and we saw Kim Mitchell, and then we saw David Wilcox there then too. So, that was another amazing Canadian rocker. David Wilcox doing the Bearcat. All right. Jigs and Reels Radio KW on 98.5 CKWR. That is none other than Wilson Jacobs and a song. Oh, here we go. You know what time it is. That is right. It is time for the New Music Monday. Ooh, I like that. Oh, yeah. The New Music Monday. Dave, you think you can record me? Put some, auto-tune on me? Maybe I'll go to Scilly Cove. And they can record me, and then I'll go to Dave, and then I'll go to, there's so many, I'll tell you. All right, here we go. Alex, you're up. Alex Duffy, you heard me play his track from him. By the way, okay, hold on, back it up. I almost forgot to tell you. So remember how last Monday night, we were talking on the behind the scenes, all the New Music Monday, we were talking about how, that's a great driving tune. I got to have the top down on the Jeep and listen to that. Well, you know what I did when I got home? I freaking woke up at 2:30 in the morning because of that idea. So what did I do? I started on Spotify at Jigs and Reels Radio KW Summer Driving Tunes 2024. Over 2 hours of music so far. Alex Duffy's This New Song will be added to it. The unedited version, the version I'm playing tonight is there. The unedited version of Mallory Johnson is on there. This Day. Who else? With Violet. So all the new, Jason Gill is on there. Aretha Power is on there. I've got the Navigators. And of course, I've got the Fables on there. It is the 2024 Driving Tunes on Spotify. It is my playlist of driving tunes for the summer of 2024. So let's kick off tonight's show, shall we? Mr. Alex Duffy. Apparently he heard we want to dance. So we're going to dance along with Albert Dalton. This is Jigs and Reels Radio KW New Music Monday. Okay.
I'm making things good and easy, yes. I like to look at things. You can count me in a minute. Oh, it's you I've been waiting for. Rick Rubin told me all the vegans are kissing protein.
Oh, this is so being added to the Spotify track, to the playlist.
Thinking, oh, I'll give you my lips, give me a kiss of mine. More than you want, but less than you hope to find. I hope you're listening.
Alex, was this on an 808? Come on, bro. You got to tell me that this was done on an 808.
I'm your man. I'll make you think so lazy, yes. Right, baby girl. I like to look at things. You can count me tonight.
I like it, bro.
See, I heard you wanna dance, cause not Charlie is the man. And if he did it, then I did it. See, I'm kinda with the band. And if I pour you up a drink and I take you to the stands, any meeting.
What? Oh! Yeah, I figured there was an 808 in there. I know my synth. I know my samplers. Oh, I'm feeling this, man. I can't wait to hear the dirty version. Yeah. I can't even pinpoint what town it is. Oh, really? Where's the extended version? I haven't got that yet. Oh. Jigs and Reels Radio KW on 98.5 CKWR. That's my guy, Alex Duffy. His boxes are packed. He's moving back home. He's in Toronto right now, and he's on his way back to Newfoundland. That was featuring Albert Dalton, the Newfoundland rapper in there. Dude, I like it. It's so hard to pinpoint on what kind of sound that was, but certainly the sampler 808s are being used in that. That is going to go on that Spotify 2024 playlist. Download it. I'll tell you, you're not going to be disappointed. Crank it up. Play it in your Mini. Play it in your Pontiac. Play it in your Ford F-150. Oh, yeah. All right, let's continue on. Speaking of Jason Gill, who just seemed to chime in. Okay, really, dude? Like Jason Gill, honestly, did you kind of know that this was going to be next? So Jason Gill came out with his first album and debut album, I guess, and it's blowing up. It's unbelievable tracks on it. You got to download it. It's on Spotify. Do it. Again, I tell you what you need to do. So this Spotify playlist, by the way, I'm featuring songs off of that. So when you do that, take those songs, add it to your playlist, because that's how you show your support to those artists that are on my playlist, by adding it to your playlist, by your friends adding it to their playlist, and so on and so on. You get the one I'm trying to go to? Jason Gill, new song from him called Crazy Hearts on Jigs and Reels Radio KW, 98.5 CKWR. Okay, not expecting this.
Such a long, long way from where we started. We're such a long, long way from where we began. And there was a song you played. It opened my heart and it knocked me right off my feet, more than I could ever stand. It's been a long, long ride to get here from nowhere.
Oh.
And it was a long, hard climb up to the top. But we put it all on the line. Together we rolled it. And kept it all moving when the rest of the world just stopped.
Jesus.
Because our crazy hearts could never get it wrong. knowing that we
You
both
wrote this, didn't you, Jason? This is your writing, I can tell.
Space and time. Oh, our crazy hearts taking on the world alone.
It's beautiful, dude.
Anywhere
Beautiful.
we might roam, we're making the headlines.
Wow. Wow.
There is no end to this road that we've been walking, and there are no signs up ahead to turn around. And all of the words that we said while we were just talking were laid on to make no sense to anybody else around.
Now, I've listened to most of your album, Jason, but I did not listen to this song because this is the song you asked me to play tonight, and I did not listen to this. This is the best song on the album. You got your other mainstream ones, you got your happy ones, you got whatever, but this, in my opinion, is the best song on that album. It's perfectly written. There's no type of genre for it. It's got that whole feel, man. Yeah, dude, I like this one. I like this one a lot. This is that type of song, and I'll say it, sitting there watching the sunset or around a campfire. This song. Yeah. Oh, I would have smacked you if I would have found out that this didn't make it to the album and I heard that. I would have I could have given you a backhander, Jason. Giving you a lacing, Jason. Yeah. I love songs like this. Yeah. Yeah. Jigs and Reels Radio KW on 98.5 CKWR. New Music Monday, 7:33 here on this May 27th, 7:33 Eastern time, that is. That is none other than Jason Gill. Crazy Hearts is the name of that song. You can stream all his music on Spotify. And again, if you're just joining us here on the New Music Monday, one thing I do, I said do. One thing I do here on a Monday night, I never listen to a song. I've said this before. I never listen to a song. And I said to Jason on the behind the scenes, I said there are certain songs on his album that I actually really enjoy. And then I heard this for the very first time right there, just like you guys. Unless, of course, you heard it on his page. That is the best song off of that album right there. That song should be played on every Newfoundland radio station that plays adult contemporary or whatever music that is on there. That song should be played. It's Canadian content. It covers all the radio, everything. But we do know that all these songs that you hear tonight are available and for free on Jigs and Reels Radio KW on Live 365. The only Newfoundland radio station, the only radio station that plays Newfoundland music 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If the artist is from Newfoundland, it is going to get uploaded onto that station. Almost 4,700 songs already on it. It's there. That song is on there. Beautiful, Jason. Beautifully written. We're going to move over now to this next guy, Snowden Walters. You heard me talk about him a little while ago. He released a song way back by himself there. And then now Snowden Walters, along with Pat Doyle, are known as Motion Sound on this track. We got Madeline Carter, who we all know who Madeline Carter is. That's right. This track was also recorded at the Bond Street Studio. Another song he has written. We're going to continue on, and we are going to play Motion Sound. And the song is called Edge of the World. On Jigs and Reels Radio KW, on CKWR 98.5.
It's a strange stretch of road from the heights down to the cove.
Ooh, this is smooth. I like tonight's. I feel like I should have a cigar and some whiskey. What do you think?
Here is a place of power. You can taste it in the air. It's just a stone's throw away from here.
Oh,
Some fishermen are born to live and die at home. Others become sailors, the whole wide world to roam. The sun is rising in the east like it does nearly every day. Sometimes it doesn't rise at all, it just sleeps the day away.
a very patriotic song. Hey, okay, Francie, I don't want to hear about the lobsters. Hello, Bill Trickett. A couple of other people have already got some lobsters on the go tonight. It's not fair. Yeah, it's not fair to brag. Francie, if I can't have one, you shouldn't tell me. Nerve. You talking to me? You talking to me, Amanda Stone? I like this. Yeah, eh? Like Madeline fits in perfect with this. Subtle. So who is this again? This is Pat Doyle. From Maddox Cove, Newfoundland is where Mr. Snowden Walters is from.
The past is gone and we've moved on to answer the ocean's call.
This is beautiful. Yeah, isn't it? Hey, I'll tell you. August 8th is when I'll be flying in. Oh, no way. Well, apparently it's for a musical. It's part of a musical Snowden wrote. That's what this song's from. Just can't wait to see that one or hear that one. Crew, I'm going to be back on August the 8th. Then I fly out on the Sunday, so I'll be coming in on the Thursday. The Jam on the Rock is Friday, Saturday. Whoa, Eric from Toronto and Juice from Mexico. Nice. You better. Are they using the right peppers, though? Are they using habanero peppers or are they using ghost peppers? How hot are they making it, Francie? No, it's Snowden and Pat. Jigs and Reels Radio KW on 98.5 CKWR. And that was a song from Motion Sound. Apparently, Snowden's got himself a musical that he's written, he's working on. Snowden Walters and Pat Doyle. I forgot to mention, that's a husband and wife duo. Sounds perfect together. Well done, Snowden and Pat, known as Motion Sound. And we had Madeline Carter in there as well. We're going to continue on. We all know about Laura Hamlin and her incredible journey through song. But she does have a partner, Ashley Rubio, who he is no slouch himself. I've played a song off of Laura's album a little while ago. He's just got a new song out, courtesy of our good friend, Mr. Fitz. We all know him as Midas. This is his new song. It's called Ghost Rider. On Jigs and Reels Radio, KW 98.5 CKWR.
Looking on classified, a great deal was shown. $300.
I don't know why this guy doesn't have a freaking album out.
Never could I imagine.
Did you take the rubber bands off the claws?
For the purchase I made, a sled on the run. I went for a ride, small John D. The dad took it out.
Did he write this song? Fitz, did he write this song?
Come back with spin. These who might pass us had flapping in the wind. A few minutes passed, my phone it did ring. Dad on the other said your sled did a thing. The throttle got stuck and Dad had to flee. Sled kept on going on up into spring. Right on down the highway, body through the snow. St. Jude's to Pasadena, sledding didn't slow.
That's the best way of cooking lobster, isn't it, Sherry? Lots of salt. Well, hello, Miss Valda. How are you? Evan is visiting, is he? Well, that's a nice son. It's about time he goes home and visits, or did he bring home his laundry? It's usually the way, you know, if you go see mom, you got to bring the laundry. Oh, you got corrected, did you, Dave?
So I ran over to get my ride. Police asked what I was doing. I said the sled is mine. We had a chat. Police gave a hand.
I like this.
They helped me put the sled in my truck van.
I just got a picture popped up from Evan. I'll look at it after. You better not be eating lobster too. Really, I got friends eating lobster. Somebody else in there eating lobster. Come on. I had salt fish on. Well, I had fresh fish on the weekend. That he did. Jigs and Reels Radio KW on 98.5 CKWR. Thank you very much. That was Dave Fitz playing those skins. Way to go, David. And that song is from none other than Ashley Rubio, a song written by Laura, a song called Ghost Rider. Did you actually listen to the, really, Valda? So Valda O'Coin is Evan's mom. And Francie's on the behind the scenes bragging about how she's having lobster. Valda's having lobster tomorrow night. Somebody else went on there and said they had lobster. Thank you very much. You do know I'll send you my address and you can send some up. At least a half a dozen. 18. Okay, 24. I will not accept anything less than 24 lobster, okay? That's it. Trust me. Bill Hart Sr. is on the behind the scenes talking about Snowden Walters. There we go. And you know what, Laura, I cannot blame you for that. So apparently the Ghost Rider is about a sled who there was no rider. So if you listen to the words, it's actually a humorous song. And we all know that Laura writes humorous songs all the time, putting on the fits. Yep, that one's funny. So she wrote the song, and it's based on a true story, like most Newfoundland songs are. Aunt Marta's Sheep is a true story. Good old Newfie Outhouse, that is a true story. Let's continue on with another true story. Dave and I talked about this before. Who's going to do it if you don't? Talking about Kim Hamlin. one of her songs on Jigs and Reels Radio KW on 98.5 CKWR, right? Is that what we're going to do? Kim Hamlin, are you ready? Brand new music.
Who's gonna do it if you don't? Who's gonna do it if you don't?
Boom, boom, boom.
When it all comes falling down, pick yourself up off the ground. 'Cause who's gonna do it if you don't?
We all know that's Mr. David doing the background vocals. Good day, Zig. Zig's dancing along. Here we go. Look at that. Good beat. Oh. I told you I'd play it tonight, Kim. Who's gonna do it if you don't? Seriously, who is? No one is. You got to do it for yourself. Remember that. Okay? Remember that.
When someone that you love rips out your heart,
yeah, that's tough.
you do the best you can, but fall apart. Don't give up all of my friend. All your love comes from me.
You got beers at least, Francie? You got beers? Tell me you got beers.
When they speak against you, makes you sad. The more you think about it, you get mad. Instead of striking out, let go of all self-doubt. 'Cause in the end, that judgment doesn't matter.
Oh, you guys. Kim, no, don't. You're welcome. But thank you. You should play this at the, you should be playing this at the jam this year. And get all these songs on a USB stick so you can sell them at the jam.
But once you're finished crying, there ain't no use in dying. Just brush yourself off and go on.
I would have expected tequila. If you were going to do some stuff from Mexico, you should have brought tequila.
Who's
Gonna do it when you don't.
When your love comes falling down, pick yourself up off the ground. 'Cause who's gonna do it if you don't?
Boom, boom, boom.
Who's gonna do it if you don't?
Jigs and Reels Radio, KW on 98.5 CKWR. That is brand new music from Kim Hamlin. Who's going to do it if you don't? Seriously, who is? Who is going to do it if you don't? If you've got kids at home, you're going to do it because they ain't going to do it. You got to do it. It's like you're a maid all the time, you know, picking up after the kids. Oh, man. I cannot wait till I get old enough so they can change me. You know what I mean? So they can, so they can, you know, be there for me. Can't wait for that one. Oh, we're having some fun tonight. 7:48. Got 12 minutes left, and Zig is here. He's got his show coming up at 8 o'clock, and then we make way for that, and then we do this all again next Monday night. That's what we end up doing. Oh, yeah. That's what we got going on. Let's continue on, shall we? We're going to play a song from Wayne Morgan. Mark Hiscock is featured in this, and we all know who Mark is. That's right. Dave's best friend. It was recorded at Fitz Studios. Here is brand new music from Mr. Wayne Morgan, and it's called The Facebook Song. I wonder if he mentions jail in there, because I've been in the Facebook jail many times. Mel and I are talking about writing a song. We are talking about writing a song about Facebook jail, but then we might get caught, and then we're really screwed. So, Wayne, here is your song called The Facebook Song on Jigs and Reels Radio, KW on 98.5 CKWR.
Now the wife is here cooking, and I'm sitting Facebooking and scrolling down over me wall. I'm looking at pictures of the boys fishing cod. Mike Brown with the old redfish rod. Some friends on my friends list have gotten all ticked. Now they're just
I'll take your CD, and then we've got about 2 minutes, about a minute and a half. Oh, no, about 2 minutes of commercials that I'll play prior.
4.
All right. You bet you.
You know, I like listening to this type of music that you have versus the rap crap stuff that's out there.
Oh, this is all over the place. I like this.
This is nice. I like this type of song. You can understand the words.
Yeah, yeah. Wait, 4, right? 4. There we go. Track 4. And it's all based on true stories. Wayne Morgan, this is about Facebook. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Based on a true story. Oh, that was you doing that, Dave. I should have known. You should have had me doing that. I'll whistle.
I'm drinking and feeling half-tight, thinking that maybe they're going to swipe right.
Thank you, Kim.
You must say I'm crazy and maybe just nuts. Sound about Facebook is sure to take guts. Somehow I figured if you're talking about them, she'll say it's her, but no, you'll say it's him. Facebook gets rotten with deleting and blocking and firing shots over the crowd. If you don't like it, it's sure no point to fighting, cause it's more coming at you unwell. If Facebook gets rotten with deleting and blocking and firing shots over the crowd. If you don't like it, it's sure no
Jigs and Reels Radio, KWR 98.5, CKWR. The ILO's on there. That is none other than Mr. David Fitz himself. You can tell from his accent. Oh, the Facebook song, based on true story. But I wouldn't, Wayne, I don't know if I'd swipe right on you. I've seen pictures of you. I wouldn't swipe right, but you're a decent guy there, Wayne. I'll give you that. Wayne Morgan to the Facebook song. Remember, all these songs are going to be available and in rotation on the Jigs and Reels Radio KW radio station on Live 365, the only radio station that plays nothing but Newfoundland music. All these songs that you're hearing tonight will be uploaded. And don't forget, on Spotify, it is the 2024 driving song list, the Jigs and Reels Radio KW. So when you're driving around on those long jaunts, around town, around the harbor, wherever, around the bay, tune it in. We got one more song for you tonight. This one is called A Puzzle Piece to My Heart. This is Laura Hamlin. We heard Ashley Rubia. This is his partner, the other half, on Jigs and Reels Radio KW, New Music Monday, 98.5 CKWR.
Do they play this type of music in Newfoundland?
Nope.
Right now?
Nope.
What the hell did they play?
Yeah. So I got Zig on the background, and Zig is here, and he's not a Newfoundlander, but we talk about how he just asked me, is any of this music being played in Newfoundland? What was my answer? You all know, no. So what do they play? They play no different than what you hear on other commercial radio stations here.
Here in town.
That's it. They have every now and then they play some songs, but not this. They'll have shows like Jigs and Reels in Newfoundland, but some don't play the new stuff like I do. They play traditional. Others play whatever they want because they're tight with whoever. But me, I don't care. I play everything and anything. So yep.
Because you have the show here, is there any other station across Canada that would do a Jigs and Reels type show?
Out of Newfoundland, there's 3 shows or 4 shows in Newfoundland. I'm the only one outside of Newfoundland that's live to air. There's syndication, like some guy records his stuff and sends it along, but I'm the only live to air outside of Newfoundland.
Interesting. Okay, I didn't know.
Yep. Yep. There you go. See? No, thank you, buddy. So David Fitz, who I talk about, who's producing all these songs, he was the drummer for the Fables for years, who did that Heave Away song and other big songs, and has played with numerous artists. Earlier tonight, I interviewed Greg Wells, who's a Grammy Award-winning record producer. But his ties to Newfoundland are very similar to me. Born outside of Newfoundland, but giving back to the culture, giving back to the musicians in Newfoundland by opening up this recording studio, opening up this hall called Trinity Hall. And all the monetary funds go back into the community. He doesn't take a dime from it. Yeah. And he lives in LA. We just were chatting earlier tonight. So, yeah.
So these songs that you're playing,
yep.
Although the Facebook probably is a brand new one.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Relatively.
Yep.
Other stuff that you play, would that be back from the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s?
Oh, God, no. Some of them would probably be, last year, a couple of years ago, some back from the 70s. Yeah. So it's basically all over. I play some stuff from the 60s, like the Ducats, which is like a rockabilly sort of sound. Yeah. Oh, excuse me. All right, so 7:56. You know what? I'm going to do this. We'll stop it for the night. Don't need that because I know what I'm doing. Jigs and Reels Radio, KW on 98.5 CKWR. What an amazing show tonight, guys. I really hope you enjoyed it as much as I did because, God damn, that was kick-ass tonight. 7:57, I got time for one more, and that is our closing theme song. Again, like I say each and every week, I wind you up, Zig winds you down. It's time for bed. Well, it is 9:30 in Newfoundland, right? So that's how we look at it. Right, yeah. Guys, that was an amazing song from Laura Hamlin, Puzzle Piece of My Heart, which of course we all know that Laura is going to be playing at the Jigs and Reels Jam on the Rock, as well as Ashley and so many others, August 9th and 10th in Carbonear. Make sure and mark your calendar down for that one. So, as we say each and every Monday night as the closing theme song comes to play, I will see you again next Monday night. Do not forget the Dildo Run on Saturday at the Dildo Brewery. So until next Monday night, when you hear the Fables heave away, you know you're listening to Jigs and Reels, Radio KW on 98.5 CKWR. So until next Monday night, may God bless you. May God bless that tropical island of Canada known as Newfoundland. Have yourself a great week. Good night. All right. Close. All right, my friends, I wish you all the best. You guys have a great night. Bye. And the next one.
Mark your calendars.